Welcome back to the Dice Cast. I'm your host Nick, and I'm here tonight with Alex.
Hi.
So about 4 months ago, we suddenly got a little bit of a teaser that we were suddenly going to have dragons in Age of Sigmar.
Yes.
Finally.
The coolest models, I think, come out in a while.
Absolutely. We saw gorgeous pictures of them. We got some teases, and then we had nothing for 4 months.
And now we got something.
We got something. I am bringing Dragoncast. I've got a very dragon-heavy list. I've got a big boy. I've got some little baby dragons, and I'm really excited about it. It's something that I've been looking forward to playing for months now, really. As soon as we saw those, I was all in Stormcast. So.
Yep, and I am bringing turtles.
Yes.
3 big old turtles.
A fan favorite list, I think.
Yeah.
So we've got the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Idoneth Deepkin, 3 turtle list. It's so much fun to play.
Yeah, it seems fun to play.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And we've got just a monster mash. All the dragons, all the turtles.
Yep.
Gonna see who comes out on top.
Yeah.
Let's get into the list.
So today I am bringing Idoneth Deepkin, the Futan. So I have a Eidolon aspect of the Storm as my general. He has the Arcane Tome and Flaming Weapon along with Merciless Raider for his command trait to give him reroll runs and charges. I have the Soul Scryer with 3 units of 10 Thralls and then 3 Leviadons, one of which has the mount trait for reduce -1 rend to no rend. And that is my whole list. It's 1970. And I have obviously the Gloomtide shipwreck as well.
Alright, this is really my ideal dragon list. I know the baby dragons list is really popular. I've got some of those, but I've got a big boy dragon too. And I'm super excited about seeing what Karazai can do. I've also got a Knight-Draconis as my general. He's got the Arcane Tome and Flaming Weapons to increase his output a little bit, but also to be able to provide Mystic Shield. He's got Mastery Magic to make that more reliable, and he's got Celestial Instincts to give him run and charge, a little bit more mobility. I then have Guard of Steel Soul as a 5-up ward bubble that can make the dragons really, really tough to shift. And I've got a Lord Relictor with Translocate and the Mirror Shield artifact that I'm getting from a Warlord battalion so that he can be really difficult to shoot off, and he's just going to be sticking around in the back lines for a long time, teleporting things around. For my units, it's 2 units of 2 Stormdrake Guard. You got to run dragons. And then I've got 1 unit of 5 Liberators. My Holy Command is the command to bring back that unit of 5 Liberators the first time they die for a command point. And I think this is going to be a really interesting list. I think this is a good mix of going heavy into dragons, but then still bringing some support pieces along and still bringing some foot troops along to back up things. So I'm excited to see what it can do. I just want to note that this army was bought for me by my gal Kate, and I really appreciate it. She is fighting a big battle right now, and we're super proud of her and thinking about her. So tonight we're going to be playing Savage Gains, and Savage Gains is a lot like Battle for the Past, or that style of battle plan was in 2nd edition. You've got 1 objective in your home territory, 2 in the neutral ground, and 1 in your opponent's territory, and then based on where the objectives are, you get more points for holding them. So holding your opponent's objective is the most points, and holding the neutral ones is worth extra points as well. It's different than most 3.0 scoring. It's a more old-fashioned sort of scoring, so it can score a little bit higher, a little bit less emphasis on battle tactics, a little bit more emphasis on objective control, which it's nice that there's that sort of variance in the battle plans for the GHB, so you do get some different mix of things.
Yeah, so for my deployment, I put the Soul Scryer in the air with 2 of the Leviadons to hopefully come down on one of your flanks eventually and kind of crash in. I have a Thrall unit in the garrison that's within 6 of the objectives, so that they're all kind of clustered there and they can hang out there with their bonus to save and minuses to be hit. The other unit of thralls is there so that when you are ready to shoot, you'll have to target them because of the Idoneth rule. And then I have the lone Leviadon that came down on that side just to grab that objective and hopefully be able to weather some shooting. And then the other thralls are over there to grab that objective. Depending on, I'm expecting him to take second turn with how he deployed. He deployed kind of defensively, but at the same time, the dragons can move in the hero phase, so he could completely turn it around and just run them right up the board. So very interested to see what he chooses to do here.
I don't have a lot of bodies, so my deployment really, it's difficult to screen what I'd really like to screen with the deep striking turtles, potentially 2 turtles coming in. As such, I had to use Stormdrake Guard as my screen. Feels a little bit strange, but that at least protects my heroes, protects Karazai, and guarantees that he'll be able to be effective for a little while. And then I've got the Liberators in the center. I positioned myself such that I could get in with the Stormdrake Guard in turn 1 if I want to. They certainly have the mobility to do it. But I really wanted to guard off the Knight-Draconis and Karazai so that they are definitely going to have some impact in the battle. I also put Gardas into Deep Strike so that he'll be able to come down and be really effective with his bubble. It does leave him off on the turn, the first turn here against potential alpha, but I want to be able to drop him on the other side of the board if I'm going over to contest things. So, Alex, I am going to go ahead and give you turn 1 at the risk of losing some dragons in the course of it.
That's I agree. I'm hoping I can do some damage, but you never know. It always feels bad to kill everybody's new stuff right away, but your army's mostly new stuff, so...
Absolutely. I invite it.
Awesome. Good luck, sir.
Good luck.
For my battle tactic in turn 1, I'm going to do aggressive expansion and just take those 2 outside objectives right away. And for heroic action, I'm going to attempt to get a command point with the Eidolon, which I do.
I'm going to attempt to get a command point with my Knight-Draconis, and I do not.
And for casting, the Eidolon is going to do Mystic Shield on himself, which I get on a 7.
I am just out of range to unbind.
So he is Mystic Shielded and has a free command point. And that should be everything for the hero phase, so on to movement.
Okay.
So basically for my movement, I wanted to come up and cast some objectives while I can. So I brought these thralls over here, well, these thralls up to the objective, that Leviadon up to the objective, and then the thralls in the center objective just to kind of screen against shooting, and then the Eidolon I just kind of centered on there. I left the guys in the Gloom-Tide Shipwreck, and then brought my Soul Scryer with the 2 Leviadons down on the flank to kind of crash into the dragons and make them fight a battle on 2 fronts, which I think is the only way I can win this game. Go to shooting. So the lone Leviadon is going to shoot into the Stormdrake Guard. That's 8 shots, 3s and 3s. All but 1. And 3s again. That is 4 saves at -1.
Okay, 4 saves at -1 brings the Stormdrake to 4-ups. And they are going to save one of them, take 3. 1 damage each, right?
Yep. And then the Leviadon with the Ancient Carapace is going to shoot into the Stormdrake Guard right in front of him.
Okay, I'm going to use all-out defense here.
That is 8 attacks, 3s and 3s again. That is 3 of them, -1, which you ignore with your all-out defense.
Sure, 3-ups. And I will save one of those and take 2.
Hey, take 2 wounds. The last Leviadon is also going to shoot into those Stormdrake Guard.
Sure.
That would be 8 shots again, 3s and 3s. These have been pretty good so far. And I spoke too soon. 2 at -1, which you ignore with your all defense.
3 ups. Make both of those.
Hey, there you go. The Soul Scryer has a shot, which will also go into the Stormdrake Guard. That's going to be 8 shots. These are 5s and 5s. So 3 hits. And 2 wounds, no rend.
Okay, 2 ups. Make both of those.
Okay. And I believe that is all of my shooting. So we will go into charges.
Sure.
The Soul Scryer chose or is choosing that unit of Stormdrake Guard in front of it to give the +3 charge bonus to.
Sure.
So we are going to roll for the Ancient Carapace Leviadon first. I need a 6 on dice, which I get exactly.
Alright, after that Leviadon comes in, I am going to spend a command point to unleash hell with the Dragon Riders there. They don't have a tremendous amount of output, but of course the fact that it's just mortal wounds means that the -1 to hit doesn't matter, and need to get some damage in on your dragon here, or on your turtle here. So 1s and 2s are nothing, 3s and 4s are D3, 5s and 6s are D6. So I'm going to have nothing and D6 for 2 mortal wounds.
Hey. It's not nothing.
It's not nothing.
And then I will declare a charge with the second Leviadon. Need a 8 will make it. So I'm going to roll my Leviadon's Crushing Charge. On a 2-up, suffer D3 mortal wounds, which they do for 1.
Okay.
I'm going to roll my other Leviadon's Crushing Charge on a 2-up, which they do suffer 1 as well.
Okay. That one has taken 4 damage. At the end of the charge phase, then, I've got a monstrous action with this Stormdrake Guard that's in combat. They are, fortunately, immune to the monstrous actions because they're in Hunters of the Heartland. So I am going to choose to roar on your Ancient Leviadon here.
Okay.
On a 3. Got it.
Cannot benefit from command abilities. So I am going to move to combat. In the combat phase, I want to activate the non-Ancient Carapace Leviadon first.
Okay.
Do you want to use all-out defense?
Yes, I'm going to all-out defense here.
So I have 2 attacks with Crushing Jaws. 2s to hit. 6s do 3 mortal wounds, but because they're monsters, they'll do 6 mortal wounds.
Sure.
And that is no hits. That's a rough one. Then we will do massive sized fins. There's going to be 4 attacks, 2s and 3s. They all hit. And they all wound. That is -1 rend.
Okay. 4 at -1. With the all-out defense, it's going to be 3 ups. And I will fail one of those.
That is 4 damage.
4 damage. Effective. He has 1 remaining.
And then he has the twin pronged spear and razor shell harpoons. These are 3s and 3s, 6 attacks. And that is 2 at no rend.
Okay. 2 at no rend.
Fail a save, lose a dragon.
They're going to be 2 ups.
Hey!
And I failed it. That is going to kill the dragon. I do get 10 dice coming back. So normally this would be 9 dice, but because they are Thunderstrike, it is 10. And pretty useful. That's going to be 4 mortal wounds at the end of the phase. I'm going to put them into the Ancient Leviadon.
Okay, he's up to 6 wounds taken.
I have nothing in combat currently, so you've got another activation.
So I still have an activation with my Ancient Carapace Leviadon, but I can't get in any or close enough to be able to attack into Karazai, so I'm going to leave him where he is. And that will end the combat phase. I will take my 4 mortal wounds from the Thunderstrike.
The Stormdrake are bravery 8, so losing 1, they can't fail battle shock, so I'm good there. But of course, losing a dragon is a pretty big deal, 170 points there. But overall, how do you feel the tournament?
I not as much output as I wanted from the. I was hoping not to kill the dragon with the first Leviadon, so I could get some more attacks into the second dragon. But and you did way more mortal wounds than I was expecting on the explosion.
Definitely spiked that. That's the most productive those have ever been for me.
Yeah, but I will get both the outside objectives, and I do set up that other Stormdrake Guard for a potential bring it down later. So it's not, it still feels okay.
Sure. And that's a total in this battle plan of 7 victory points. And you kill the monster, which will bump that up to 8.
Yep.
Alright, time to see what these dragons can do. My battle tactic is going to be bring it down, and I'm going to select your Ancient Leviadon.
Okay.
And my heroic action is going to be Finest Hour with Karazai.
Okay. I don't have anything to do on this side of the board, but I am going to try to get a command point with my Soul Scryer.
Sure.
Which I do.
Got it. Alright, we can then get into the hero phase proper. I'm going to use the this unit of Stormdrake Guard once per game ability to move in their hero phase.
Yep.
They're going to move 12 inches. On a 2-up then, they're going to attempt to charge. And they got it. So they're going to attempt to charge into that unit of thralls. And they got a 10. They're probably getting in. I'm going to attempt to translocate with the Lord Relictor. He can do so on a 2-up. And he's going to translocate the Knight-Draconis. The Knight-Draconis is then going to use his once per game ability to allow a Stormdrake unit within 12 inches to shoot. He's going to use it on that forward unit. They're going to put their shots, of course, into the thralls. That is going to be D6 mortal wounds and a fail with the other one. 2 mortal wounds into the thralls. Consistent with the shooting.
Yeah, very consistent. I don't want to lose my banner bearer.
The Knight-Draconis is then going to attempt to cast a spell, and he's going to attempt Mystic Shield. And that'll go off on a 10.
I will attempt to... That's your only cast, correct?
Yep.
I will attempt to deny with the Idolon. Need an 11 on dice. Long shot, but... Nope. That is... I take D3.
It was an 11 in some ways.
Yeah.
And then you're going to put that Mystic Shield on that forward unit of Stormdrake Guard.
Yes, sir.
And then we can get into movement.
So I'm going to use a command point here after that movement to attempt to redeploy.
Sure.
And my whole goal here is to try to get back far enough that Karazai's base can't fit between the edge of the board and that other Leviadon.
Sure.
I'll use that free command point that I got with the Soul Scryer.
Sure.
So see if I get a big number, and I got a 1.
Ooh.
So a 1 is not as big of a number as I was hoping for.
That could have been pretty impactful, potentially denying a battle tactic.
That is what I was hoping for.
So my movement phase here is about getting Karazai into position so that he can hopefully go over and just take out that Leviadon. That's a big ask for him, but he's a big dragon, he's a big boy. Hopefully that is pretty reasonable to ask for him. He is on Finest Hour and everything that entails, so he should be able to take some swing back as well. I also got my other Stormdrake Guard up, and being able to charge them in the hero phase is kind of nice. Guarantees that extra chance at the charge. Just makes it more reliable, and hopefully some of that shooting will start to kill some thralls, and I'll start to take these objectives here. At the end of the movement phase, then, I'm going to bring down Gardas. Alright, into my shooting, Karazai has his one shot, and that's going to go into the Ancient Leviadon. With that, that's going to be d6 mortal wounds, and that's going to be 6 mortal wounds. Strong.
That was a good opening.
Good opening.
He has 4 wounds left.
The
Went from 10 left to 4 left with 1 shot.
The single Stormdrake here is going to shoot into that unit of thralls, and going to do d6 mortal wounds. It's going to be 1 mortal wound. The unit of 2 Stormdrake there are going to shoot into that unit of thralls, and they're going to both fail. And then my Knight-Draconis is going to shoot into that unit of thralls back by the Eidolon as well, and that's going to fail.
You know, I was worried. Things are really turning around though.
I'm going to use Gardas' once per battle ability to declare a Saintly Assault. That's going to give a bubble of reroll charges, and then heroes within that bubble will also get +1 to their attacks characteristic. So Karazai charging. 4 inches should get him in. He was 3 away, and then the 1 inch redeploy.
Yep. I'm going to use a command point here for Unleash Hell from the Leviadon. That's not all hurt up.
Sounds good.
So it's going to be 8 shots, 3s and 3s.
Is that with the -1?
4s and 3s. There's going to be 8 shots, 4s and 3s. And that's 2 at -1.
Okay, 2 at -1. With the finest hour, that's going to be 3 ups. And I'll save both of those. I then have a couple more charges to make. The lone Stormdrake Guard is going to try to charge into that unit of thralls. Going to get it on a 7.
Barely made it.
Tag that. And that's going to be it for my charges. At the end of the charge phase, we've got some monstrous actions to take. Karazai is going to roar on the non-ancient Leviadon here. On a 3-up. Got it. This Stormdrake Guard is going to stomp on those thralls. Got it for 2. And then they don't have a valid thing to do. So that's going to be it for my monstrous actions. You've got 2 here you can do.
So we are going to, with the Ancient Carapace Leviadon, do a roar on Karazai.
Sure.
Which I get. And then the other Leviadon is going to Titanic Duel.
Okay. So he'll be a +1 to hit. So I'm going to activate first with Karazai, and he is going to split his attacks, which is a little bit of a risk, but going to go for it. He's going to put his Talon and Tail attacks into the Ancient Leviadon, and he's going to put his Jaw attacks into the non-Ancient Leviadon.
3. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So I am going to spend the command point for all defense on the Leviadon without the Ancient Carapace.
Okay.
I've basically written off the other one.
Fair.
So just try to do as much as I can to protect the one I got.
Sure. So I'll do the Talon attacks first. These are going to be 5 attacks because of Gardas' Saintly Assault. So they are going to be on 3s, and then because of the finest hour on 2s. 3s and 2s. And that is going to be 2 at -2.
So these are going to be saving on 6s. Which I do not save.
2 damage each.
That kills him. He explodes. Take d6.
And then the 2-inch reach on the jaws is enough to attack the other, and they are going to be on 3s and 1s, so effectively 3s and 2s, 7 attacks because of that Saintly Assault. Oh, rough. 2 at -3.
So -3 would take him to a 5, but because of all out defense, he goes to a 4. And I save both of them.
Nice. Because Karazai killed a monster, he is going to be at +1 to his attacks for the rest of the battle. And it is your activation.
Alright, so I have 5 thralls that are in range that will be attacking that Stormdrake Guard.
Okay, I will go ahead and all-out defense.
It's going to be 10 attacks, 3s and 3s. It's going to be 5 of them at -1.
5 at -1, canceled out by the all-out defense. These are going to be 3-ups. And I'm going to fail 4 of them.
That is 2 damage each.
8 damage.
That almost kills. That almost kills us.
Effective. I'm then going to pile in and attack with this unit of Stormdrake Guard. Not as killing melee as I would like them to be. There's the leader in this unit. He's going to have 7 attacks, and the other one is going to have 6 attacks, so 13 sword attacks. 3s and 3s. That is going to be 4 at -1.
You want to say that one?
That is going to be 4 at -1.
The -1 puts me on a 6-up save.
You're in cover, correct?
Oh yes, I am in cover, so I am on a 5-up save, which I save 2 of.
Okay, well, just 1 damage each on those.
I will lose 2 gentlemen.
And then 8 attacks with the fangs and talons. They are also 3s and 3s. All of them hit. 4 of them wound at -2 on those.
Okay, so we are going to be on 6-up saves. Should I save 1 of?
2 damage each on those.
And that should wipe the unit. Yes, it does. My activation, correct?
Yes, your activation.
Okay. I will pile in with my Leviadon.
Okay.
I am going to use my... So I'm going to use my Triumph, which is +1 to wound. So I will be +1 to hit and +1 to wound against Karazai, which I'm hoping will be helpful.
Sure. Because of Karazai's Ancient Master of War ability, subtract 1 from your attack's characteristic against him.
That is rough, but we will persevere. Crushing Jaws, 1 attack, 2s and 2s, and that is 6 mortal wounds.
6 mortal wounds is effective. Gardas is fortunately here, so I've got 5 of ward. And I will make 1 of those.
Alright, that worked. And then we'll do massive size fins, 4 attacks, 3s because of your tomfoolery. 2s and 2s. That's 2 hits. And 2 wounds, -1.
Okay, because of his finest hour, he's just going to be on a 3-up. And going to make both of those.
Okay. And then twin prong spears and razor shells, harpoons. These are 2s and 2s as well. There's 2 of them, no rend.
2 and no rend are going to be on 2s. And I'll fail 1 of those. How much damage?
1.
5 of ward. And I will take that one.
I would appreciate it if you did.
Sure. He's taken a total of 6 so far.
Okay, that's more than 0.
It is.
I'll take what I can get.
1 activation left then. It's going to be this guy. He's just going to put all of his attacks into the thralls there. Him surviving on 1 here, really significant, obviously. 7 attacks with the sword because he's the prime. On 3s and 3s. That is 3 at -1.
-1, but they're in cover, so it becomes the regular 5-up save, which I make none of.
1 damage each on those. And then the talons and claws, just 1 hit. 1 wound at -2.
6 up, which I do not make.
2 damage on that.
And lot like they're gone. Battle Shock. So I'm going to lose these thralls right here to Battle Shock. They're Bravery 6, and I lost 8 this turn, so fully en pasha to that.
Turn went really well for me. Got my battle tactic with Karazai. That's starting to build up the bonuses on him with his extra attacks. And then the swing back definitely spiked a lot of the mortal wounds on the bite, but the -1 attacks is really impactful on such a big swing where you could take 3 big attacks away from the Leviadon. Definitely like him for that aspect. Gardas, obviously, with the 5-up ward there is helpful too. Getting the bodies cleared out is something that I think is going to help me a lot. And it just feels like a really, really impactful turn. I've got 2 of the objectives, so I'm only going to score 3 on that, but then 3 for completing my battle tactic with a monster, and 1 extra for killing a monster, so that's going to bump me up to 7. Priority roll.
It's a big one. I rolled a 1.
And I got a 6. Decisive. It's looking obviously massive for me here to get the priority. Taking this turn, I feel like I'll be able to scoop another Leviadon, probably take your Eidolon as well between shooting and all the combat. So I am going to take the turn and press the advantage. This is what they warned us about with dragons, right? But yeah, definitely going to go for it. So we will get into it. We're going to have top of round 2. For my battle tactic, I'm going to pick Slay the Warlord. I'm coming after the Eidolon. Obviously, the tactic there should be clear. For my heroic action, I am going to attempt to heal Karazai. And with a 7, he's going to heal D3. Going to get 3 of those back.
I was hoping you'd be able to do that. I am going to do Finest Hour on the Eidolon.
Makes total sense. Yeah.
He's already sitting at +1 save from the Mystic Shield. So
into the hero phase proper then, I'm going to first attempt a translocate with the Relictor. On a 2-up. Yep, he's going to teleport Gardas. I've then got 1 spell with the Knight-Draconis. He's going to attempt to cast Flaming Weapons. And that is currently, it's currently on a 5. I'm going to go ahead and re-roll that with his Mastery Magic. So it's going off on a 7.
I will attempt to deny that with the Eidolon, which I do on a 9.
Okay, no spell. I'm going to use this Stormdrake Guard's once per battle ability to move in the hero phase.
Yes, sir.
And then on a 2-up, he's going to charge. Yep. Got a 6-inch charge, which is just going to get him in.
Yes, sir.
And that charge there is really just to shut off redeploy so that the Eidolon can't try to get away that way.
Can't get shifty.
Then on to movement phase. Into shooting then, I'm going to put all of my Stormdrake Guard's shots into the Eidolon. I'm just going to roll them all together to make this a little bit simpler. I've got 4 of them, including the leader. So these are going to be doing more wounds based on what they roll. So 3 of them are going to do no mortal wounds. One of them is going to do D6 for 3.
I have a 5-up ward against this. Should I save one of them?
Okay. Karazai is then going to put his shot into that Eidolon and Leviadon.
Yeah.
D6 mortal wounds. And that's going to be 3 mortal wounds.
Okay.
Gardas has his shots then. D6 shots into the Eidolon for 6. 3s and 3s. Any -1 to hit or anything?
No.
4 hits. And 2 wounds at -1.
That will put him on a 3-up save because of the +2.
Sure.
Should I save 1, fail 1?
Just 1 damage.
And 5-up. And fail.
Then got 2 charges here to make. The Knight-Draconis is gonna go in first on a 7. And then the Stormdrake Guard are going to attempt their charge. Need a 3. And they're going to fail it with a 2. I am going to spend a command point to reroll that.
But get another 2.
4.
That was close.
It was close. The Knight-Draconis is going to stomp your Eidolon. Failed that.
No, you won't.
The unit of 2 is going to then roar on your Eidolon. And that will fail as well. And then Karazai is going to Titanic Duel your Leviadon.
Yes.
You've got 1 over here.
We are going to attempt to roar, which I get.
Okay. Karazai cannot use command abilities then. I am going to activate first then with the Knight-Draconis.
So when he targets him, I am going to spend a command point to use all out defense.
So the Knight-Draconis, 5 attacks with his Aeon Fire Blade. These are going to be on 3s and 2s. One at -3.
So I have +3 to my save currently with Mystic Shield from last turn. The Finest Hour, and now all out defense. So I will be on a 3-up.
Sure.
Which I make.
And then 4 Talon attacks, 3s and 3s. That is going to be 4 at -2.
4 at -2, that puts me on a 2-up save. This natural save is a 3. And I failed 2 of them.
2 damage each.
2 damage each. So looking for 5 ups for his ward, and I make 2 of those.
Okay.
So take 2. 5 wounds taken.
Your activation.
So we're gonna go with the Leviadon. I'm still at -1 attack. I'm not -1 to hit though, so this will be Crushing Jaws. 2s and 2s here. 6s do good things, but did not get one of those. And that is 1 at -2.
1 at -2 is going to put Karazai on a 5-up. And I'm going to make it.
Massive sized fins. This is going to be 4 attacks normally, 3s, 3 this time. That is 2s. So I reroll 1s in the Flood Tide, so I reroll both of these. And this is going to wound on 3s. And I reroll 1s for Futan mounts. So there's 1 at -1.
1 at -1 is going to be on a 4. Fail that.
That's 4 damage.
4 damage effective.
And then I have the Twin Prong Spear, Razor Shell, Harpoon. These are going to be 3s. I do reroll 1s still. And then 3s, I do not reroll 1s because they are not a mount. That is 3 of them at -0.
3 3-ups. I'll pass 2 of those.
Take that 1 damage.
Okay.
You got to get them little by little,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
I'll then activate the unit of 2 Stormdrake Guard, and they're going to put all of their attacks into the Eidolon.
Well, that's not cool.
So that is 13 sword attacks on 3s and 3s. That is going to be 7 at -1.
7 at -1. I'm +3 to save. That puts me on a 2-up save. I fail 1 of those. 1 damage, right?
Just 1 damage.
And I pass that with my 5-up ward.
Sure. And then the claws. Also 3s and 3s here. That is going to be 7 at -2.
7 again. With my +3, I'm still at a 2-up save.
Sure.
And I failed 2 of those. That's
2 damage each.
okay, so looking for my 5-up ward. And I make none of those.
Oh, she has.
I have taken 9.
Okay, so
Got 3 left.
3 left. Your activation.
So we are going to do Spear and Cruel Hook into the Knight-Draconis and Sharp Fangs into the single Stormdrake Guard. Spear of Repressed Fury. This is going to be 3s and 2s.
This is into the Knight-Draconis?
Yes.
I am going to all-out defense there.
Okay. So 3s. I reroll 1. So 3 hits and 2s to wound. That is 3 of them at -2.
3 at -2 with the all-out defense is going to be 4 ups. And I'll save one of those.
That's 2 damage each.
Okay. With the 4 damage total, Gardus is there, so 5 up 1. And I'll save 2 of those, so I'm going to take 2.
Okay. Cruel Hook. These are 3s and 2s. And there's 1 at -1.
1 at -1 is going to be a 3 up. Made it.
Okay. And then 2d6 for the Sharp Fangs.
This is into that single Stormdrake.
For 10 attacks. 4s and 4s, he has +1 to wound because of himself or because of Finest Hour. So 4s and 3s, rerolling 1s because of Flood Tide. 4 hits and 4 wounds. No rend on these.
Okay, these are going to be 3 ups. Need to make all of them. And I'm going to fail 2. I've got the 5 ups from Gardus, and I'm going to fail those. So he is going to die. He is going to try to kick back some wounds on 10 dice.
Please don't do 3.
I am going to get 2. Yeah, that's a 1. 2 of them at the end of the phase.
Okay, and these I save on 5 ups. And I save 1.
Sure. Karazai is then my activation over here. It's the last activation of the combat phase. He is not yet tabled, but he's close. But he's going to be putting all his attacks into the Leviadon. He's at +1 to hit because of the Titanic Duel.
Yep.
So his jaws are going to be 7 attacks. He's at +1 attacks because of the buff he got earlier. 7 attacks on 2s and 2s.
And I already used all out defense, or I would be using it here, but it survived. It made my Eidolon stay alive, so it worked.
That is going to be 6 at -3.
These are going to be on 5, and I save 2 of them.
Okay. 3 damage each.
That is 12 damage. I am down to 1.
Okay. The Ruinous Talons then.
How many I have left?
5 attacks on 2s and 3s. That is going to be 2 at -2.
So these are going to be 4s, and he takes 1.
Okay, 2 damage on that one.
Okay, and that does him in.
Okay.
That is 2 Leviadons down.
Karazai, he likes the turtle soup. So Karazai will now be on +2 attacks for the rest of the battle.
I was hoping you would have something like that going on, so I'm really glad that it happened.
So interestingly, back here, I've got 3 dragons on there. They each count as 5 on the objective. That's going to be 15 to your 12, I believe, back there.
Yes.
And then I've got these 2 objectives back here. I failed my battle tactic, but scoring 4, 6, 7, and killing a monster is going to be 8 points for me.
Okay, so after some thinking, we're going to do Slay the Warlord, which the Knight-Draconis is your Warlord. And then for my heroic action, I am going to try heroic recovery with the Eidolon. I'm on 10 wounds currently, so anything back will really help here.
Almost failed it.
So that's D3 back for 1.
For my heroic action, I'm going to Finest Hour on the Knight-Draconis.
Okay. For my hero phase, I am going to cast Flaming Weapon on the Eidolon.
Sure.
Should I get on a 9?
Okay. I will attempt to unbind with the Knight-Draconis. He does have the reroll from Master of Magic. Rerolling. Yeah, that'll go off.
Okay. And that is on his Spear of Repressed Fury.
Sure.
Okay, and then we can go into the movement phase. phase. So for my movement here, because I picked Slay the Warlord, I brought my Leviadon down to kind of crash into the side of the Knight-Draconis. My Soul Scryer did use a command point to run the 6 because I was 11.5 inches away from the objective, just so I can take that objective and score some more points. The Eidolon came out, kind of playing for the double here with him, so I'm hoping that he can survive, I'm hoping to get the double turn so that I can heal him, crash in, heal him again, and do some damage with him. But I flaming weapon him just in case I don't. And the Thralls came out as well to just give some extra support to the Leviadon and soak up and potential unleash help. Shooting phase. The Soul Scryer is going to shoot Gardas 8 shots. These are 5s and 5s. And nothing. And the Leviadon is going to shoot into the Knight-Draconis.
Sure.
It's 8 shots. And this will be 3s and 3s. That is 2 of them at -1.
Okay, the Draconis on his finest hour is then going to be on 3 up. And going to make one of those.
1 damage.
Okay. 5 up ward from Gardas. Fail that. 1 damage.
Okay. And that is all of my shooting. So we will go into charges. The mighty thralls are going to charge. They get in with an 8.
Because of their damage potential against monsters in particular, feels a little bit odd to use my last command point on this, but I am going to use my last command point to unleash hell with that unit of 2 Stormdrake Guard into the Thralls. That is going to be D6 mortals and D3 mortals. So the D6, 5, and the D3, 3. So a total of 8 mortal wounds into there.
That is very good.
Hard to beat a command point that does that, and that validates your choice not to go in with the Eidolon if it was going to go like that.
Yeah, that was a big conversation. But, I'm glad it ended the way it did. And the Leviadon is going to charge. Get there on a 7.
Okay. And he's got some impact hits, right?
Yes, he does. When he charges, he does do D3 mortal wounds on a 2 up. So D3 for 1.
Gardas, 5 up. Failed it, 1 damage.
Okay.
He has got 7 left, has taken 4.
At the end of the charge phase, I do have a monstrous rampage, and you are out of command points, correct? Yep. So I am going to Titanic Duel.
Okay, makes sense. I'm then going to stomp with the Knight-Draconis into those Thralls and try to take them off the table. Yes for D3, and just 1 of them.
Hey, we got a lone survivor.
I'll take it.
Okay. Then we go into combat. The Leviadon is obviously going to activate. Okay, so for the Leviadon, we are going to attack with the Crushing Jaws. These are 2s and 2s. Looking for some sweet, sweet 6s. Rerolling 1s because it is Flood Tide. And there is a 6 for 6 mortal wounds.
Useful.
1 hit.
Sure.
That hit wounds as well.
Okay. What round on that one?
-2.
Okay, with the finest hour, that's a 4 up save. Gonna make that one, but then I've got the 6 mortal wounds, 5 ups from Gardas. And gonna save 2 of those, gonna take 4 more.
Okay. We have the massive sized fins. These are 4 attacks. 2s and 3s here. Rerolling 1s. All hit. And 3s to wound. That is 4 wounds at -1.
4 at -1 are going to be on 3 ups with the finest hour. I'm going to fail 2 of those.
That is 8 damage total.
Ooh. 8 damage total. 8 5 ups. Need to make a ton of these. And I do not. That is going to kill him. He is then going to put 12 dice into the Leviadon.
Sure, it's not into the thrall.
Definitely into the Leviadon. Hoping to get at least a couple wounds off it to start working it out.
You should get 2, you'll get 8.
That's a big 0.
Oh, nice. I don't even have to pick up any dice.
There you go.
So I will use a command point to save that last thrall. I'm not within 3, so maybe by next turn I can rally some back.
Sure.
And I hold both outside objectives. I completed my battle tactic with a monster, and I killed a monster.
So 4 for the objectives, 2 for the battle tactic, 1 extra for the monster, 1 extra for killing a monster, total of 8.
Total of 8. I like it. I will take it.
We then have a real big priority roll going into round 3.
Yeah, this felt like it got away from me at the top of turn 2, and at the bottom of turn 2 it feels like this priority could save me or put the nail in the coffin.
Absolutely. Good luck. Got a 3 to your
also
3.
got a 3.
So that means since I went first, I get to keep the choice, and I am going to take it.
Of course. Makes sense.
You do have the choice to remove a objective. Has to be one of the center objectives, though. The others are prime.
I think I'm going to remove this objective just to make this a less attractive side of the board.
Makes sense.
And kind of funnel stuff over that way if need be.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
I had to move a lot of models to pick it up.
For my battle tactic, I'm going to take Monsters Takeover, and I'm going to select the unit of Stormdrake Guard to be contesting an objective I control at the end of the turn.
Makes sense.
For my heroic action, I'm going to attempt to heal Karazai.
Yep.
And I got under his bravery, so he'll heal D3. He's going to get 3 back.
That's 2 3s in a row.
It is. Take it.
I'm going to do the same for the Idolon, which is under his bravery, so I'll heal D3 as well. For 1 again. At the start of the hero phase, I do want to use a command point to attempt to rally back some thralls.
Makes sense.
They're within 18 of the Idolon, so
9 dice here, looking for 6s.
any back would be helpful. And I get 3.
Pretty good. 3.
I'll take it. That is a win in the book that I wrote.
In my hero phase proper, then, I don't have a spell to cast. My wizard is dead, but the Lord Relitor is going to attempt a translocate on a 2-up. And I'll get that. Going to translocate those Liberators.
Yes, sir.
Into the movement phase, then.
Okay. So I'm going to use a command point here when you move the dragons to redeploy the Eidolon, get him out of the range of Karazai's charge, hopefully, and try to get him a little farther away from those Stormdrake Guard.
I really wanted to deny the redeploy here, but because of Idoneth's ability to that you have to shoot the closest, I wasn't going to be able to get any shots into the Eidolon unless I moved anyway.
Yeah. So, looking for a big number here. That's a big number.
That's a big number. Karazai is then going to do his shots into the Soul Scryer here. He's going to do 1 mortal wound.
Okay.
The Stormdrake Guard are going to put their shots into the Thralls. And that is going to be D6 and D3 mortal wounds. D6 for 5.
That's the unit.
Okay.
They did their job.
They absolutely did.
So,
Gardas then has D6 shots into the Soul Scryer. It's going to be 4 shots on 3s and 3s. Going to hit 2. And going to wound 2 -1.
that puts him on a 6-up, which I make 1 fail on.
Sure. In what it can only be considered obscene overkill, Karazai is going to attempt to charge here. And he's going to get in on 7.
Would you like me to pick him up?
Well, you actually get to attack first here.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So we're in high tide. Round 3. You are going to get to swing first into Karazai. I'm debating charging with the Stormdrake Guard. With you swinging first, it can get really ugly here, though. I am going to roll a charge with the Stormdrake Guard. I may not make this charge if I do get it. 7 inches is... I don't want to bring him into the Leviadon. I was thinking about bringing him into the Idolon, which would ruin my battle tactic, but potentially peel the Idolon. But I think I'm just going to leave them where they're at. End of the charge phase, then Karazai is going to stomp on your Soul Scryer.
Okay.
And yes, it's going to go off, and it's going to be for 2.
Hey, he still gets some attacks.
There you go.
Okay.
At the start of the combat phase, then, because this is high tide, you get to swing first.
This is going to be a big one. The Finger Claw.
-1 attacks here because of Karazai's Ancient Master of War.
Yep, same amount. So no wounds.
Okay, is that it?
That is it.
Okay. Well, Karazai is then going to start swinging. He's up to 8 attacks on his jaws. And these are going to be 3s and 2s. 3s and 1s, but effectively 3s and 2s. And that is going to be 7 at -3.
Yeah, he didn't make it.
Well, the nice thing about that is that killing a hero, Karazai now gets +1 attacks characteristic.
Wow.
So he's at +3 attacks. He is slightly devastating in combat.
Indeed.
That's going to be it for combat phase. No relevant battle shock to take, obviously. But still pretty good here, pretty useful. I control all the objectives on the field, so that's going to be 7 points. I completed my battle tactic, so that's going to be 9 points. Puts me on 24 to your 16. And we are going into the bottom of 3. You gain a command point. I do not. My general is no longer on the field.
Okay. I'm hoping to wipe off your unit of Stormdrake Guard, so I am going to pick Broken Ranks. They're a battle line unit, correct?
They are.
Okay, so I'm going to pick Broken Ranks and select the Stormdrake Guard. This is an all or nothing, turn for me.
Yeah.
So I have 2 models on the board. So we are going to do the best we can here. So for my heroic action, I am going to do Heroic Recovery. I need to roll under a 10. And I do for D3. Let's see if I get another 1. I do not. I get a 2. Whew. We are at half wounds.
I'm going to roll for a command point here with Gardas. Needed on a 2-up. Yep, got it. So that'll be 1 command point for me.
So for my spell with the Eidolon, I am going to go for Flaming Weapon here.
Sure.
Need a 5. Get a 6.
I do not have an unbind.
Or I need a 7. I think it's 5. But... And then we will go to movement phase.
And I will use my free command point at that point to redeploy the dragons.
Yep. Looking for a low roll here.
2. Pretty low.
I'm just crashing into the Stormdrake Guard.
Sure.
So we will go into shooting phase. I have 8 shots with the Leviadon. I have to put him into the Stormdrake Guard. I thought about maybe putting him into Gardas and trying to take off a 5-up, but I have enough attacks there. I think I can take him out. 3s and 3s on these. That is 4 at -1.
4 at -1. On the Stormdrake Guard are going to be 4-ups. Gonna save 2 of those, 1 damage each.
Yep.
So 5-ups. And that gonna take those 2.
And then we will go to the charge phase. Leviadon is going to declare charge and get there on a 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Eidolon is going to declare charge as well with another 10. So the Leviadon is going to do his crushing charge on a 2-up, which I get for 1.
Okay. 5-up ward. Gonna make that.
Okay. And the Idolon, because he charged, does heal D3 wounds for 1. So he is down to 5 wounds suffered.
Extremely resilient.
He is very good. I do not have a monstrous action because yours are Hunters of the Heartland.
That's correct.
So it would just be your monstrous action.
Yeah, and I am going to go ahead and roar on the Eidolon then. And I'll get it so he can't use command abilities. He can't issue or receive, which should cut off
good.
command abilities for both of them.
Yeah. Okay, so because I attack first with everything this battle round, I am going to attack first with the Eidolon.
Okay. I'm going to spend all-out defense on the Stormdrake with my last command point. Hoping to keep one of them maybe alive here.
So, because I charge, I do add 1 to the attacks and damage characteristic of Spear of Repressed Fury. And with Flaming Weapon, that brings the damage up to 4 on those. So this is going to be 5 attacks, 3s and 2s. That is 4 of them at -2.
4 at -2 with the all-out defense is going to put them on 4s. And I'll save one of those. 4 damage each on those?
4 damage each.
Okay, so that's going to be 12 5-ups. Pretty solid. Going to take 7 of those. That is going to kill 1 and carry over 3.
Okay.
You got some more attacks with the Eidolon?
Yes. Then we will attack with the Cruel Hook. These are 4s and 2s. And that is 1 at -1.
1 at -1. 3 up. Made it.
Okay. And then 2d6 for 6. This is going to be 4s and 4s. With his own War Scroll ability, he will be +1 to wound. So 4s and 3s. That is 3 of them, no rend.
3 at no rend on 2-ups. And I'll make all those.
Okay.
Now I've got 1 Stormdrake Guard died within an inch of the Eidolon. So 10 dice here, looking for 6s. Oops. That is going to be 2 mortal wounds at the end of the phase to the Eidolon.
Okay. And then the Leviadon. He has his Crushing Jaws. This is 2 attacks, 2s and 2s. And 2 to wound. Because he is Futan and he is a mount, I get to reroll 1s to wound. And that is a 4, so that is 1 at -2.
Okay, 1 4-up. And I'll fail that.
3 damage.
3 damage, 3 5-ups. I'm going to make one of those take 2. 4 wounds left on the Stormdrake here.
Okay. The Massive Scythe Fins, 4 attacks. This is going to be 2s and 3s, but because of the Eidolon, it is going to be 2s and 2s. So that is all hit. And reroll the 1 because of Futan. That is 4 at -1.
4 at -1 is 3s. Gonna fail 3 of them.
That is 4 damage each.
So 12 damage. Yeah, that should do it. I'm gonna roll it out anyway here. Looking for pretty much all 5s. Yeah, he is definitely dead. So he is going to attempt to put some damage back into that Leviadon on 6s. None there, so just the 2 on the Eidolon at the end of the phase then.
Okay, and he will roll his 5-ups, and he will make 1.
Sure.
So, let's take 1.
So absolutely expected kind of output from High Tide IDK, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that, I mean, wiping out the Stormdrake Guard, And getting to do it with the Leviadon, I think, was especially helpful for that extra point and wiping out a monster. So
Yeah, your sequencing was definitely right there.
yeah, accidentally right, but definitely right.
Unfortunately, you only control that one objective, so that's going to be 1 point, and then 3 for your battle tactic with a monster.
Yes.
1 for killing a monster. Gonna give you a total of 5 points for the turn.
Yes. So I'll be at 21. Yeah, 21.
And then we've got a big priority roll going into round 4.
It just felt like every priority roll has been big, and I just need one.
Sure.
Just give me one.
Let's do it. And I'll take it with a 6
That
over
is
your
the
1.
second 1 to 6.
So now we see if the hype about Karazai is justified, right? Because he's going to have to carry the team here a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like it is, but we will see.
Absolutely. So I am going to take the turn. Top of 4 then is going to be Stormcast. My battle tactic here is going to be Savage Spearhead. I'm going to try to get 2 units wholly within Alex's territory here. I am going to use my once per game Warlord extra command point.
Okay.
And then my heroic action is again going to be to try to heal Karazai. And I will do so for D3. Going to get 2 back.
And I will attempt to heal the Eidolon, which I heal 1.
Savage Spearhead is definitely not guaranteed here, but hopefully with a translocate and a decent charge and things like that, I'll be able to get it. So that said, into the hero phase proper, I'm going to try to do that translocate. The Lord Relictor is translocating on a 2-up. And he gets it. He's going to teleport Gardas. And with that, we can get into the movement phase.
With that move, I am going to spend a command point to redeploy.
Sure.
We'll see what we get here. I got a 6 before. Can I do it again?
Do it.
That's a
4.
4.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Alright, into the shooting phase then, after the redeploy. Gonna shoot into the Leviadon. Don't have a choice here, so Karazai is shooting into the Leviadon. That's going to be D6 mortal wounds for 6 mortal wounds into the Leviadon. Huge. Gardas is going to put D6 shots into the Eidolon. 5 shots. 3s and 3s here. 2 at -1.
Say 3 up. Say it's +1.
Okay. And then I've got just potentially 2 charges to make. So the Karazai is going to try a long one. And I'm going to get that on an 8. So with that charge, I needed a real big charge there to be able to then pile in and succeed at getting into your territory. But I still feel pretty okay about just getting into everything you have and trying to peel it.
Makes sense.
That's going to be the charge. I am going to attempt to charge with Gardas as well. And he's going to get in on a 10. And at this point, it's just any extra damage I can get and any attacks that don't go into Karazai, I feel pretty good about.
Yep.
At the end of the charge phase, I am going to use a monstrous action to to roar on your Eidolon.
Yep.
On a 3-up. Nope.
I will use a monstrous action to roar against Karazai.
Sure.
Which I don't get either.
Okay. Fair. Alright, I'm going to pile in then first. So piling in with Karazai then, and I've got +3 attacks on each of his profiles. I would love to split these attacks and kill both of them, but I can't afford not killing one of them.
Yes.
The Eidolon with all of his Ren seems like a really big threat. I am going to put all of my attacks into the Eidolon.
I'm going to use this wonderful opportunity to all-out defense.
Sure, makes sense. And I am going to go ahead and all-out attack with Karazai.
Yep.
So we've got 9 attacks with the Annihilating Jaws because Karazai is currently on +1 attack, +3 attacks. Into the Eidolon, these are going to be on 2s and 1s, or 2s and 2s here. Useful all-out attack.
Yeah, that would have been...
Would have been sad times otherwise. That is going to be 9 at -3.
Okay, so normally this would put me on a 6-up, but it is going to put me on a 5-up because of all-out defense. So I save 2 of them.
3 damage each.
So
21
5,
damage.
6, 7. Okay, so 21 5-up saves.
So in retrospect, probably could afford to split some attacks here.
21 5-ups. I did not make enough.
Yeah.
I made a lot, didn't make enough. So the Eidolon is no more.
And that's another notch on Karazai's belt. He's going to be at +4 attacks for the rest of the game.
So I'm activating the Leviadon. He's the only thing. He's the only model I have left. So I can get Gardus within 2, which I have 1 attack at 2 range, and try to peel some wounds off of him. So Crushing Jaws into Karazai. He is -1 attack, so this is going to be 1 attack, 2s and 2s, and that is 6 mortal wounds.
So 6 mortal wounds into Karazai, and Gardus is alive, so this is going to be 5-ups.
Yeah.
So save 2 of them, going to take 4 mortal wounds then.
So then I'm going to go with my massive size fins because I'm not attacking Karazai, I'm attacking Gardus. I do get my full 4 attacks. So this is going to be 2s and 3s. We reroll 1s. All hit. And all wound. That is -1.
4 at -1.
Yep.
Gonna save all but 1 of those.
This is 4 damage.
4 damage, 4 5-ups. So he'll take 4.
Okay. And then Twin Prong Spear and Razor Shell. This is 3s and 3s into Karazai with 1 less attack. This is not the mount, so I don't reroll that. And that's 2 at no round.
2 at no rend into Karazai. 3-ups, pass 1, fail 1. How much damage?
1.
5-up. Take that.
Okay.
And then Gardus is going to pile in an attack. And really and truly failed the Savage Spearhead, but that's alright. He's got 5 attacks then on 3s and 3s. That's going to be nothing.
Hey.
So at the end of the turn there, I control all the objectives. I didn't complete my battle tactic, but it's just another 7 points on objectives. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah.
And it leaves you with just 1 unit, and we've got a score of 31 to 21, going into the bottom of 4.
Okay, so there aren't battle tactics I can get here. This game is
Bring it down.
Did I do? Yeah, I guess I could do Bring It Down. I'll do Bring It Down on Karazai. And
You might have done it on
I might have done it.
Stormdrake.
Yeah, I might have done it. But you know what? Not going to get it anyway. But I want to get 1 more combat into Karazai.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are going to hero phase, heroic action for you.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to heal Karazai again. And I'm going to fail that.
Oh, yeah.
There's your window.
Yeah. And then we will go to shooting. I'm definitely not moving him. So this is going to be 8 shots. 3s and 3s.
Into Karazai?
Yeah, D minus.
He is not.
Just in combat? Okay.
Yep.
So, roll 1s for Futan units. And that is 6 of them at -1.
6 at -1. Need 4s. Gonna fail 2 of them.
Just 1 damage.
5-ups. Fail both rolls. He takes 2 more.
Okay. At the end of the charge phase, I'm going to Stomp Guardus. 2 up, and I don't do it.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and Titanic Duel.
Yep. And we will go into combat.
Sure.
Crushing Jaws.
Where are you putting your attacks?
All into Karazai.
Okay, I will
Just for fun.
I will use my last command point for all-out defense here.
Yep. I will also use all-out attack for free because I'm not using a command ability, right?
There we go.
With my battalion.
Yeah, line breaker.
And not all attack, all out defense. Sorry.
All-out defense. Got it.
Crushing Jaws. 2s and 2s. 6 does 6. 6 does 6 mortal wounds. Hey, take 6 mortal wounds.
You have been spiking those. Those have been
I have.
the one thing that's been going really well for you.
If I could have gotten that 6 on a priority roll at any point.
I'm going to save 2 of those to take 4. That's starting to chunk away. Karazai may go down here. He's taken 14.
Massive size spins. This is 2s and 3s. Reroll 1s for Futan. And 3s. That's 2 of them. -1.
Save them both.
Okay. And Twin Sprung, Spear, and Razor Shell Harpoon. 6 attacks. Reroll 1s. And that is 3 at no rend.
3 at no rend with the all-out defense are going to be 2 ups. Going to fail 1 of those. 1 damage.
Yep.
5 up. Going to take that 1.
Take it.
Respectable. I mean, ultimately respectable.
A 380-point unit attacking into a 600-point unit, it feels like it should do about.
Yeah, absolutely. Karazai is then going to swing back, and this should be fairly entertaining.
And yeah,
he's a little bit juiced up.
Yeah.
So his Annihilating Jaw is normally 6 attacks. They're up to 10 attacks with the +4, but they are currently, based on where he's tabled to, they are currently wounding on 4s.
That's a lot of dice. Are you sure you want to roll them all? I don't want you to hurt your hands.
So 10 3s down to 2s because of the Titanic Duel, and 4s. Gonna hit with all but 1. And then good wound roll. Spiked it a little bit. 7 at -3.
Okay, so these would be 2s, but they are going to 1s and then to 4.
Sure, with your all-out defense.
Yep. I didn't make. Wait, hold on. I didn't make it.
Yeah, 3 damage each on those.
Yeah, that almost kills him without him having taken any wounds.
Yeah.
And with my last model, I pick up my toys and go.
Sure. It was a good game. It felt like when I won that turn 2 priority roll, it really felt like I was going to kind of open it up at that point, and it didn't happen. The Eidolon hung around, failing my battle tactic there, made the points relatively close, and we just had some good back and forth. It felt like if you got a priority roll, maybe things swing in your favor.
Yeah, well, and once you use the Stormdrake Guard's hero phase move, they were kind of playing pretty fair from then on out. I don't have any magic to target them, so you know, like that whole part of their war scroll didn't matter.
Right.
But they are they're killy, and Karazai does work.
The mortal wounds from the Stormdrake Guard are a huge part of their damage output, and there were times when I really spiked it. I would do 6 mortal wounds, which is fantastic output, and then there were times where it just kind of did nothing.
Yeah, and Idoneth being able to choose where you put it, I think definitely helped me. Especially with the thralls, that Eidolon would have been absolutely destroyed. I think he did 6 mortal wounds with 2 attacks,
something like that.
Against the Eidolon or the thralls.
Once they get in by modern standards, they're a little bit pillow-fisted.
Yeah, they're shooting. Any mortal wound shooting seems really good right now.
Yeah.
So even swinging mortal wound shooting.
It feels, I know that they're the terror of the meta a little bit, but it feels like they're pretty reasonably priced where they're at. I wouldn't want to see them go up much more, or I don't think they'd be really worth bringing.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about playing against an army that doesn't, where you get to shoot what you want. and seeing how that plays out.
Yeah, if you're picking off heroes or support pieces with that, obviously,
yeah, maybe it goes a lot differently. But
the variance is frightening though. It's hard to plan around shooting that can very easily do 1 mortal wound or 8.
Yeah.
Right.
So a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. So I'm not going to have nightmares about dragons anymore like I was. But yeah, definitely a good game.
Yeah, and like I said, a priority roll away from maybe something different. I love the dragons. I'm so excited about them. I'm so excited to run them into everything I can find to play against them with, because I just want to see how all those interactions go. It's so cool to have a new army effectively dropped into Stormcast.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see. Karazai is not going to be in the majority of lists, right? It's going to be small dragons.
Yeah,
and him just gaining attacks and -1 attack in melee, and he does work.
I'm excited to play around with both him and Krondus. I think they both got interesting places. Krondus as a really effective, durable support piece, and Karazai as what we saw here. We're just a monster that can spiral out of control and carry a game really by himself at times. Now, obviously, if he dies early, and he can, you don't get any of that. But when he gets snowballing, by the end, he was just a wrecking ball there.
Yeah.
He tables, but it's only the wound roll on his jaws that tables. So later in the game, when he's got some of those buffs racked up, he can be terrifying.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to put him up against other armies. Seraphon, Lumineth. -1 attack on Lumineth against Wardens that's half their output. So,
right.
So it'll be interesting to see how they go against those types of armies.
The big challenge is keeping him alive. 18 wounds on a 3-up seems like a really durable model, but it's not as durable as it used to be, for sure. At the end of the game here, he's sitting on 15 wounds taken, 3 wounds left. That's significant, right? Especially because he got to dictate most of the combats he was in. It wouldn't take much more to push him over.
But you also healed, I think you healed 8 or 9 wounds.
Something like that.
Yeah, you healed 2 3s in a row and then a 2 or something like that. So,
right.
by old game standards, he'd be dead.
Right. And that's with a 5-up ward bubble on him basically the whole time.
Yeah.
You take that away and he dies, a ways ago.
Yeah, and on the other side, this game really highlighted how good Eidolons are, especially Eidolon of the Storm.
Absolutely.
And just how much fun Leviadons are to play. I just love running them. But the army, in not a typical eel list, can do some work.
Sure. If dragons are as terrifying as everyone's saying, this list hung in with them blow for blow.
Yeah. The points started to get away at the end, but turn 3, I think I was down 3 points at the end of turn 3. So,
yep.
So any priority roll and the game swings differently, and or it doesn't necessarily end differently, but
it certainly turns into a very tight game if you make any of those priority rolls.
Yeah. So yeah, good game.
Yeah, absolutely. Good playing together.
Yes, and you as well.
And for everybody who stuck around this long, really appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Please let us know how we're doing in the comments below. We love to hear it. We love to have discussions, and like and subscribe. We're happy to put out this content, and we love when you tell us that you're enjoying it. So, night everybody.